Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back, guys, to Myndscapepodcast. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Hey, Boots, what are
Say
you
welcome
doing over
back,
there?
guys.
Yeah, we have Boots on the podcast today. So before we get this podcast going, make sure to get your coffee, of
Say
course.
hi and please subscribe, guys, because his favorite snacks are chicken snacks and they're expensive. So please subscribe.
That's actually true. Yeah. So, first thing first, I want to thank all the new subscribers. We got
Yes.
a new people with us in the movement, I will say.
Yeah. Shout out to my mom who subscribed. That she didn't know we were doing this, but now she knows.
Oh yeah,
So hi,
she's
mom.
hey mom. She's one of the subscribers now, I
Yeah.
guess, right? Anyways, so today we want to talk about what it's like being a parent. We want to share experience with you guys. I don't know, some people might know that we are new parents. 6 months baby we have,
Yeah.
and it's been a learning process. So we want to share a little bit of our experience, and hopefully we can encourage some couples have some
Yeah.
babies. We need babies in this, a good babies in this earth.
Yeah.
So what it's yeah, let's get into it. So what it's like, being a parent, so far.
For me, I honestly feel like I'm still trying to figure it out. I know that the main goal is to raise like a great human being, phenomenal, respectful, loving, like religious, but like how does that look like along the way? I'm still trying to figure everything out. It's
Mm,
like my mom and I'm sure other parents always say there's no like instructions on how to raise a kid. Every kid is different. So, yeah, I'm learning along the way. Yeah.
yeah, no,
It's
definitely.
that's just the meaning for me though, to like pass on like a great um just great attributes, characteristics. I don't know, kind of like in a sense leave a legacy behind with like the kids that we
Mm,
may have.
yeah, no, absolutely. I think, yeah, the same thing for me. It's been you know some highs and some downs, or not really downs, but it's just kind of like challenging times.
Some struggles, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But overall, it's been pretty good experience. I think it brought a lot of kind of joy and just good times. You know what I'm saying? And now you kind of like you have more goal in your life in a way.
Yeah.
Uh, to take care of this child. The best as you can, and
Yeah.
raise him a good kid as much as you can, and it's just so much fun. I think the only annoying time it would be for me when he's crying and you don't know exactly what he wants.
Yeah.
You know. But again, that's just a part of being a parent, I guess.
Yeah, it's part of the journey.
Yeah, it's part of the journey. Or sometimes he will wake up, and when you literally just you fall asleep.
Yeah.
When you just sometimes you just put your head down on bed, and him just like, oh, good morning, it's time to get up. Yeah,
Mhm.
so I would say, yeah, as long you can adjust yourself or be a little bit less selfish, I think it is a great journey. I think he helped me to actually increase my discipline, to just like getting up the times that you don't want to get up and trying to take care of him or give him what he needs. And yeah, but as for being in the good times, it's so much fun, just seeing him, you play with him, see him smiling now in this stage where a little bit you can see he's understanding you, or you start understanding
Oh
him
yeah.
as well too. So like, earlier I was telling him like, stop, and literally he did stop. I'm like, whoa, whoa, like, I was surprised actually he did stop and he did not get closer to the thing that I was telling him. And I'm like, wow, like now he's starting to to catching up in some kind of words,
Mhm.
and it's really good. And he just, the biggest smile he gives you all the time when he
Yeah.
wakes up
He
from his.
responds to his name now.
Yeah, he responds to his name. So definitely it is beautiful journey so far. So what is some, maybe like real challenges times that you kind of experienced having first child?
Real challenge.
Yeah.
One of like the big ones I would say is feeling like I didn't have an instant bond, or feeling like a failure in the beginning, because I had like a lot of trouble um breastfeeding, you know?
Mm.
And I still do. He doesn't latch,
Yeah.
you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
I give him breast milk, but like he's bottle fed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's honestly, it's been a big struggle. It's still like, I don't know, I feel like it became in a sense an insecurity that I'm still trying to get over. Like I don't know why it bothers me so much that he doesn't latch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um but I mean, thank God, I'm very grateful that I'm able to give him like my breast milk and stuff like that. He's a very healthy baby boy.
Mm-hmm.
Um but personally for me as a mother, it's like the whole journey of just like breastfeeding or bottle feeding and producing milk,
Mm-hmm.
being able to stay healthy in the sense where like there's so many things you have to do as a mom to make sure you can like get the milk from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a whole process in between, you
It's a
know,
lot of preparation.
a lot of preparation. Like even for me to
Yeah.
just go to the store or go out like on family outings, it's a process for us to get out the
Yeah.
door. We need to get his milk ready, a cooler,
Yeah.
milk warmer, whatever.
Yeah.
Make sure I pump before. Am I going to go out for more than 2 to 3 hours? Like I need to take a portable pump, like just everything.
Yeah, it's literally like you're preparing for a war.
Yeah, no,
It's like
seriously.
going for, maybe a long hike for a couple days.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean,
And
all the dishwashing, like the bottle washing and
yeah,
the nipple washing and the
yeah,
everything,
yeah, and
it's a
make
lot.
sure everything is clean and sanitized and
Mhm.
everything like that.
Yeah.
And just, recently we experienced first time flying with the baby, and again we kind of like got a little taste. We had very quick short flight, but still we got the taste of what it's like flying with the with the baby.
Mhm.
Again, it's a lot of preparation, a lot of thinking. We learned a lot, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And as far, the stroller, the baby seat, the car seater, it's whole entire thing again, doing all that. But again, that's what I'm saying. It helps the end of the day to kind of manage your time better. Our very first time we arrived to the airport, we like 2 hours plus before our flight. Me and you, we usually will like,
I think it's like we arrived like at the 2 hour mark.
yeah.
Yeah.
So me and you usually we're like the last minute people,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially to the airport. Many times we're like running to catch up our flight. But like I said, this time we made sure that we were gonna get there, ahead of time, especially his first time. You know, the the T what they call them, TSA.
Agent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they gotta uh taste, not the taste, they tested the milk and stuff like that, so you need to make sure you go in ahead of time and stuff like that. We watched a couple of videos from some older couples, see the
Mhm.
things, what we're gonna be going through basically.
Yeah.
But like I said, at the end of the day, I think what we are doing right now, I think it will pays off in the future, as far even with ourselves, meaning we're gonna be more organized, we're gonna be more on time, we're gonna be more disciplined and to be prepared and sure, because we are now like in that stage of being disciplined. You know what I'm saying? You're working and you're
Yeah.
disciplined to get yourself ready and all that, you know?
Yeah.
And so far, thank God, the baby, he did pretty good. I would say, he was a little bit funky, I would say, at the first 15 to 30 minutes. He gets bored, he wanna
Yeah.
play, he wants attention, but you are with a bunch of people and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
we did much as we can, and as long he fall asleep, and we were good. He
Yeah.
slept the whole entire time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I heard you were talking about the milk thing, latching and all that. Well, of course, because after the birth, I think majority of the women, I would say, they experience a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, especially your first child, you don't know what to do and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you were not producing enough milk, so we had to give him a bottle, what they call it, the powder milk, whatever.
And yeah, formula like
Yeah,
for a day. I think it was the second day we got
yeah,
home.
and all that
Yeah.
takes like literally a one time thing, for
Yeah.
him, and he does not want to get back to the to his mom breast. Yeah, that's it. It
Yeah. We
literally
bottle fed him, I think just like
not even 1 day, isn't it?
no, it wasn't a full day.
Yeah, it's like a half day or something.
But it was honestly probably like 2 bottles.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 bottles.
Yeah.
But we bottle fed him the whole day and the day after just because we wanted, or at least like I felt safer knowing and
Mhm.
seeing how much milk he drank because like I don't know, I was so dazed and like from all the medication I was under the day before or the days before. And like I really couldn't feel it. I was like, "Mom, how do I know he's like drinking?" My mom's like, "You would feel it." I'm like, "Mom, I don't feel anything."
Yeah.
So it's like I had no idea what to expect, what to look for. Um but yeah, I mean that was that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so you had the reason why, and we did it just for very little bit of time, and still, he likes the easiness.
The easiness,
Yeah,
yeah, of
of
the
the
bottle.
bottle. Yeah, it's
But
easy and
like
stuff.
I trust me guys, I prepared a lot. I prepared a lot. All I did the last few weeks and
Uh
even
huh.
before that, I watched like a bunch of videos of breastfeeding, birth. I went in with a mentality of I want a natural birth.
Yeah.
I don't want any medication, this and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I wanted to experience what a natural birth felt like, what my mom and what my grandmother and,
Yeah.
other generations before me went through, that pain.
Yeah.
And I mean, I literally did not know what I was getting myself into. Um, like I think I mentioned it before, I'm not sure that, I was in labor for almost 2 days, like little less than 2 days. So
Mm.
it was, my journey was definitely crazy, but I think we can probably save that for like a whole episode itself where we can talk about my labor and delivery. But yeah, I mean, I prepared myself. So for those thinking, well, why didn't you read? Why didn't you do your research? Why didn't you trust me? I did. But
We didn't have the choice. Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
But when it comes to give him a formula milk,
things can
obviously we
happen.
couldn't. Yeah.
You have to remember that.
Yeah.
Um, you can try to be in control of things, but at the end of the day, it's God's will, and
Yeah.
things may not go your way.
Yeah. But overall, we're very grateful. Like she said, as long he's eating his mom's milk, that helps him to have a strong immune system and all that, and grow faster and
Mm-hmm.
better and healthy. So it's been great. It just I understand you missing that little connection. When he's actually feeding from you. But hopefully, with the time you can make it on something else, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, and I don't want to touch too on well, it's been only 6 months, so we're not like whole professional parents over here. We're learning as we go, and it's our very first baby.
Mm-hmm.
And And do you have like what's your some of the plans with the baby? You know, when maybe he start talking. You know, maybe next 6 months, after 6 months, like you know,
Yeah.
what's some of your goals with the baby?
Yeah, so my plans for the next 6 months or in 6 months
Yeah, after like in six, you know, yeah, next 6 months, like one of some of the goals, you know, might be
that I have.
yeah, like you something you want to teach the baby, you want him to be focused on something, you want to make him to do certain things.
I think one of my main priorities would be to ensure that he picks up um at least two of the languages, that we
Uh-huh.
share. Um I would be like Spanish and Arabic, and I feel like English is definitely gonna just stick.
Yeah,
But I'm not like so focused on teaching him English just yet.
yeah,
It's just something that he's gonna hear that we
yeah.
mutually share. But I definitely want to focus on Spanish and Arabic, so he can kind of just learn the three languages. Like growing up, I would really want for him to carry like a whole conversation with his grandparents.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
definitely.
and my great
Yeah,
my and his great grandma.
yeah, that's definitely our goal when it
Yeah,
comes to the languages. We want him to learn Spanish and English. I mean, Spanish and Arabic, you know, and obviously English because I mean,
he's gonna
he's
learn that
yeah,
regardless.
yeah,
Yeah.
regardless, exactly. Um, yeah, and another thing too, I think for me when it comes to food, I don't want him to be picky with food at all. You know, I want
Mm-mm.
him to eat everything and
Yeah.
anything as long as it's healthy. You know,
Yeah.
if he's picking, he don't want to eat pizza. That's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but I
Yeah.
want him to eat whole food. You know, be so we start introducing him, you know, some of the
To some food.
vegetables
Yeah.
and vegetables and
Yeah.
fruits and stuff like that. He been loving it so far,
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
and like God willing, like he's able to provide for us, like like at least some decent and sort of financial freedom where we can continue to like feed him organic fruits and veggies, grass fed, milk, beef and stuff like that, because I want him to grow like as healthy
You want him to uh, grow organic.
as we possibly can. And I mean, I don't want to say it's impossible.
Yeah,
I really don't know, because how can you even trust some of these companies that say they're organic and chemical and hormone free, and they could be lying to you.
yeah, no,
You
they do
don't know, you
lie
know what I mean? But
for
we can
sure.
try our best to guide him in that direction,
Yeah, yeah,
especially because as a kid growing up, I've never had anybody do that for me. Like
yeah.
growing up, it was just like I would get fed whatever I
The family
wanted,
eating.
whatever the family's eating, or like fast food,
Yeah,
growing up and not having enough money. Fast food back then at least
yeah,
was very cheap,
yeah,
and with the parents not having enough time because they're jumping from one job to another, it's like that was a go-to,
yeah.
no
Oh,
one really cared about like my health,
yeah. Actually,
you know
I will say this proudly. I think I not I think I'm sure I grew up with whole food, like all like literally like the real food. I would say less than 5% of like some, you know, some like a baby cereal or whatever. Barely,
Yeah.
barely anything. To be
Yeah.
not even 5%. I would say 1%. You know, and even growing up as a kid and all that, majority of our food it's organic. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I grew up in organic food for until I came to America, I will say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, even when I met
Uh-huh.
you, like you're like
I
all
was
like
bit
Whole Foods and
yeah.
you know. Yeah.
And it's yeah, what because you literally you can taste the difference between whole food I mean between organic and non-organic, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Here in America not as much, but in some other countries you definitely taste the difference between the vegetables and the
Yeah.
fruits and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um yeah, that's good. So um do you I know you told me before you have some questions maybe some parents are asking and stuff like that. You
Yeah, I
know.
have like you know, so
So this.
not everyone has easy or like resources to go to for help when they're parenting. Like
Mm-hmm,
I would say like we do or like you do. Like
mm-hmm.
there's granted we haven't had to do a whole lot of parenting and guiding because our child is young, but if we ever come across like a difficult situation, we can always use our resources or reference like the Quran,
Yeah,
our family, our religious,
stuff like
friends,
that. Yeah,
stuff like that for us to seek guidance.
yeah.
Not everybody has that. So I think it would be great to ask you um a few questions where some of these parents don't have that guidance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go for it. And oh, I just want to mention, this is gonna be pretty quick because, like I said, we're new parents. We are 6 months in. We can make another one after another 6 months again from now. We'll make another one where it's like being a parent after a year. Maybe hopefully the baby is start walking already, so he can be here in the middle and we'll ask him question directly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, make sure like and subscribe, please. The channel, it's growing slowly but surely. I really appreciate all the new subscribers and my mother-in-law. Shout out to you.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And just so everyone's like, oh, well, does his mom follow? Yes, his mom, my mother-in-law,
Yeah.
follows as well. But she was like one of the very first
Well, yeah,
supporters.
of course. Like the family need to be your
Yeah,
supporters.
I just like I chose. I don't know. I just chose not to tell my family until like they found out on their own. But then,
So your mom should find out by her own.
well, that's what I wanted it to be. But I ended up telling her because we had like a conversation of like what happened just recently.
Oh, I see.
Um, so give me 1 second. Okay. So these are there are a variety of like parenting
Yeah.
questions, and it's like what should you do as a parent, right? So for example, there is a mother that it doesn't say, but it appears that the father's not in
In the
in
picture.
in the home. At least they could be separate homes, right? But her 16-year-old son constantly beats on the 7-year-old daughter,
Oh no.
to the point where she does have to hide certain or bruises that are visible when she goes to school in order to avoid CPS, Child Protective Services,
Yeah.
from intervening, or appearing at their home and her possibly getting in trouble or getting the daughter taken away, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would you recommend in this situation? Like, how would you handle the situation of your son, who is 11 years apart of from the little girl, is like beating on her?
So 11 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
So he's basically probably say did you mention his age or
He's
no?
16 and
So
she's 7.
okay, okay. Well, first of all, you want to dive in and make sure why the beating is happening. You know what I'm saying? Because 7 years old, she's still a child. She does not know. She know a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Is she doing something to him? You know what I'm saying? Going
Mm-hmm.
maybe example to his room, destroying
Mm-hmm.
certain things. He gets mad. And 16 again, that's where all your testosterone is start kicking a little bit, and you get crazy. You get like all this like trying to be like quote unquote, some people might call it toxic masculinity or whatever like that,
Yeah.
um so you want to dive in and have a conversation with both of them separate, you know what I'm saying, what the cause exactly, what's happening in there. Then if you see the 16 years old boy, he's just want to beat his sister, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
just because he feels certain way himself, he feels stronger, where he doesn't like her, whatever case may be. um then the parents need to be very serious with him, you know what I'm saying, be like, yo, if you do it again, I'ma beat you up, personally, you know what I'm saying? Or or I'm
Mhm.
gonna call the cops on you, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, and come and take care of you. And something that actually will help a lot, putting the baby, or not the baby, the 16 years old boy to some kind of fighting training, you know what I'm saying? It can be karate, kickboxing, anything like that. Somewhere where you put him and can get beat, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes these kids, they have a lot of testosterone going on, a lot of energy and stuff like that. You want to put him somewhere where he can sweat, and when someone always be like stronger than him and better than him, and
Mhm.
be like, have a little fear.
Okay.
So I think these two things, yeah, putting him somewhere, and even like tell the coach that he's aggressive at home a little bit, whatever. Tell him, please, like, put him with some tough guys. I want him to teach him a lesson. So anytime he go to the training or whatever, he's getting his ass whipped, by
Mhm.
the trainer, by the coach or whatever. Because that way you're not like really beating him because of this, but he's getting his ass bit by, because you know what I'm saying. So he just to understand there is always someone out there stronger than you, and stuff like that. And then and conversation, like there is some kind of reasoning, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
he hates his sister. Well, let's find out, what did you hate your sister for? What you don't like your
Yeah.
sister? What's
That's a
going
good
on?
point. Or see where he picked up that habit of beating on somebody, you
Yeah,
know?
did you see it? Did you watch
Mhm.
it? Someone told you, like, you know what I'm saying? So come down, deep down, and trying to find out exactly. You're supposed to be the protector, you know what I'm saying? Not the beater, you know what I'm saying? This is your little sister, she's 7 years old. Like I said, seven, like they understand, they know, but not completely out there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she's still a child or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But they understand when you talk to them, like I said, if she's doing something. But even if she's doing something, you're not supposed to beat her up like that. Almost, you said daily. Yeah, that's definitely some kind of like sickness in a relationship between um, the sister and the brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, wish them the best luck, but
Yeah.
definitely take the boy to drain his energy, and having a serious conversation with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely have a serious conversation on both sides. And I mean, it's unfortunate that the little girl's going through this, but I feel like I would take this opportunity as a woman, and just let her know, like, you know, the way that the body of a woman and a man was designed is different, and you shouldn't let yourself get abused this way, and teach her to stand up for herself in certain ways. Like,
Yeah.
obviously she wouldn't have the force to stand up to her brother, maybe physically, just like on her own. But basically, like, use that as a learning lesson, not like making it like it's her fault, but using that experience to teach her something
Mm.
positive, and something that's gonna help her down the line, so she doesn't have to go through any of like those things again,
Yeah.
and same thing with the guy. I think I would definitely um kind of like what do you call, not inspect, but kind of like check what's going on in your own home to see if there's anything that's triggering the son from doing that, and put a stop to it if there is, and teaching your son that you don't do that to little girls,
Yeah,
to
and if
women in general.
yeah, and if you have the conversation with them, and everything, send him somewhere to live, with the ex grandma, whatever, someone, you know what I'm saying. And I think that's the problem, when there is no like a man in the house, and kids like that, when they hit that age,
Yeah.
between 15 and all the way to like early 20s, they get crazy. So
Mhm.
the only thing that would put him down is a real, like a strong father, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's why I told you, a gym, like a fighting gym, it will, because they have a coach, and coach is kind of like a mentor in there, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if the mother talked to him, he would keep his eye on him and beat him up every time, because it's good, when you get beat up, like, okay, I'm not. everything. There is always someone better than me. There is someone who's gonna come and teach me a lesson. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, so there's this mom who, so to kind of give it's a background story, like, nowadays vaping and smoking is very like common.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I mean, it was common, from the beginning of time when cigarettes were released and whatnot. But what I'm trying to say is it's very common now with young adults or teenagers.
Yeah.
It's very common. Unfortunately, like vaping has kind of taken over, you know, and
Badly.
now you see like little kids vaping and stuff. And so what would you say, like, to the moms who are struggling with their kids who are vaping, especially now that you can hide the little devices anywhere. You can put it in your sleeve, in your pocket, you can hide it anywhere at home. It's very small and it's very accessible. I know like a couple of I know at least California banned, the sell of flavored nicotine or something like that, right?
Yeah, but there is always people who sell that stuff.
Exactly. Um
Yeah.
so what would you say to those who are allowing their kids to smoke at home just because they're, I don't know, quote unquote tired of fighting with their children? Like what would you say? Like
Well,
what are some good tips that may help them?
so so if you're allowing your kid to smoke at home, I think that's a very big mistake because you know what they call it, the vaping is super duper addictive than anything else. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Whatever those chemicals they put in them, they're super duper addictive. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I think it's really sad now. It becomes super popular these
Mhm.
days. And back in the day, if you smoke a cigar, people will smell it. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a lighter, blah, blah, blah. You get caught. There is so many things now. Like you said, your kid, you will be vaping in the house. You can even know there is no smell. There is nothing. Open the window, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You fine. You good to go. And a small little device can be hidden anywhere.
Mhm.
But if you find out, you have to. I would say you have to take them somewhere where can be treated mentally and physically. You know what I'm saying? You have to make sure their time is occupied all the time. They don't have no free time. And going and talking to someone, maybe try to talk to them first. But if they don't want to, try to have someone to talk to them. Maybe they are smoking, I don't know, trying to like quote unquote forget something or skip something away. They don't want to share that with their parents sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So having someone else to talk to them sometimes it
So
would
some
help.
sort of therapy or
Yeah,
counseling.
yeah, exactly. Some
Mhm.
counseling from a different people. It doesn't have to be always like a professional, like a therapist, can be if it's a guy, someone that the little boy respect, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it can
Mhm.
be a cousin, older uncle or something
Mhm.
like that, you know what I'm saying? That someone can open up to them and have a real conversation, like what is the reasoning of doing what you're doing, and
Mm.
make him exactly understand the vaping. Yeah, maybe it's all fun and cool right now, but if you are starting right now and keep vaping just next 5 years, you know what I'm saying, and everything you have is so fresh, and that thing can cause you cancer a lot faster, and it's study being done to it. It can cause cancer, a lot of different diseases than actual cigarettes, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
because all those chemicals and stuff that has, and that's why it's super super addictive than anything else, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and take them some kind of treatments, and hopefully they can quit, and watch them, make sure the friends that they go with and stuff like that, you know they don't use those kind of things, because if he or she is surrounding with the people smoking, she can resist just so much, and then she's gonna go back to it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you know, and I believe again, training, you know, sports, it I helps with all these kind of like disease of
Stress, boredom,
everything, you know what I'm
health.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you get healthy, you know what I'm saying. And usually when you go and you work out so hard and stuff like that, you're like, oh man, I'm supposed to do recovery right now, not go and smoke, you know what I'm saying. Like you feel
Yeah.
bad even if you do something, you
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's like I'm kind of wasting the effort that I put at the gym. Now I'm
Okay.
just, you know what I'm
So
saying.
you're essentially saying
Yeah.
occupy their time, take them to some sort of rehab facility or some sort of treatment,
Mm-hmm.
and provide um some sort of counseling, some guidance, some
Yeah, and
therapy
cut
where
off
they
the
can
friends
talk
or, you know, bad
and pull
friends.
them out of the environment that
Yeah.
they're in that may influence them negatively. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That sounds that sounds cool. Um Let me pull this one right up.
Yeah.
So this one's quite interesting. So, what do you recommend to, or what would you advise to the parents that are going through a financial, not a financial, a very hard time? It could be financial, but going through a hard time in the sense where they have a small child who has, uh, out of the blue been diagnosed with terminal cancer, meaning they have cancer, they're going to die, there's no cure, you know, it, so just prepare for the end of life. What would you advise them to do for the rest of the child's life? Whether it's like, let's just say, for example, maybe they have one more year left of the child's life, you know. Obviously we're not God, they're not God, but the medical
Mm-hmm.
advice is you have about a year left of the child's life before they pass away. What would you advise these parents to do, to just in like, how should they move on in this next year when their child doesn't even understand the concept of death?
Okay. Well, I think when you know that, I think you try your best to start accepting the death before it happens, you know,
Mhm.
which is, it's good and bad. You know, it's good because it gives you a heads up and you can prepare yourself for that day. So it's not
Mhm.
like a shock, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But, you know, but you can just wait in today, tomorrow, today, tomorrow. But yeah, just prepare yourself, you know. This is something outside of your control, you know. If it happens, happens. Just be prepared to be stronger when it happens, you know.
Mhm.
And another thing too, a lot of parents, they make this mistake. They give up before, you know what I'm saying, when the doctor tell them, okay, there is nothing we can do, and that's it, they stop, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
uh, uh, you know, doctors are great, but sometimes, you know, they're not not sometimes, but doctors are great, but they're not a god, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, listen to them, take their advice much as you can, but at the same time seek a different help, different advice from a different people, different doctors, you know. Try to get like, you know, some help from, you know, what they call those people, like the that works with the herb, you know, like herb industry, you know what I'm saying, like natural herbs and stuff like that, that works a lot of times perfect for a lot of people.
Mhm.
But yeah, just keep seeking, you know.
Alternative medicine.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing too, don't show the sadness to the kid, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of times bringing that depression and that feeling of, you know, sadness and everything, you know, to the kid, and you just kill him slowly but surely. Actually, you want to come, you know, enjoy your time with the kid, basically, right? Try to enjoy whatever time you have with them, you know what I'm saying. and try to motivate them and make them more confidence. Hopefully they can beat whatever disease they have. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like try to be like, yo, don't be like, oh, you're gonna die. Like you're never gonna die. We're gonna beat it. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. Just encourage them and have them to have, strong, powerful, a positive mindset. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So don't allow them to accept the death, for the kids. But for yourself, you have to have them both. Just be prepared if happens, to be ready to accept it.
Yeah.
And if it, but at the same time, you want to have a resilient mindset of, I'm gonna keep fighting until last minute. Keep looking, keep searching, keep taking them at different places. You know what I'm saying? Keep working in your mindset also. You know what I'm saying? Because I think when someone has very, strong or bad sickness like that, a lot of times the mindset, it plays a big role. Just
Yeah.
having a mindset of not giving up at all. I'm gonna fight until the last minute.
Yeah.
And I've been study done with a lot of people beat cancers just because of their mindset. They were, they were very sure they're gonna beat it, and they're gonna, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and they didn't allow it. Because when you feel sick and you keep calling, I'm sick, I'm tired, I don't want to do this, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
the sickness, it was just eat your mind and eat your health, basically. But when you fighting it, everything, it starts with the brain. If your brain fighting that sickness and you have very positive mindset, you're gonna do it, you're gonna get up, and and it would be
Yeah.
healthy again. Definitely it's possible. Yeah. So I would say, yeah, work on your mindset. That's the
Okay.
main thing,
I have
which is super hard to do. You know what
it
I'm
is
saying?
hard.
Yeah.
I mean especially like how do you even explain that to a kid, who's like
A kid, exactly. It's like the way how the parents are showing up to him.
yeah.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
I'm saying the kid, like for example, in this situation, the kid is not even 5 years old yet. How do you even explain the concept of cancer? And it's hard,
Yeah. Well, you
it's
you can't.
tricky.
You're not gonna explain it to them. You're just gonna like uh do what any older kid doing. Take him
Hmm.
to school, play with them, take him for walks. Buy him things.
So quote unquote live like normally.
Normal, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So do not allow him to feel he's missing, or he
Yeah.
doesn't have something, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And and if he said, oh, something hurts or whatever, it's like, yeah, I understand, you'll be okay, we are working on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just don't come with if you have a very sad face and you're looking at him with a super sad face, he's gonna absorb that face, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's gonna destroy him over time.
Hmm.
So the way how the parents are showing up to the kids, that what
Yeah.
matters. If he doesn't understand, or he's not that age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This guy Boots is like everywhere.
Boots, this is not a bed, okay, Boots.
Yeah. One thing you guys need to know about Boots is like he will make himself comfortable. Doesn't matter where.
Yeah.
He's just gonna go for it
Like he just keeps moving.
because he's uncomfortable. So
Like
he's like, I gotta find a new spot now.
yeah, special cat man.
Yeah, and he's
Look.
very close to 20 pounds.
So
So I have a last question, and
last
this is
question.
it is parenting, but it's also like a family oriented question. Um, my cat is making biscuits. They're $1 each. Um, so the question is, let's just say we're gonna use ourselves for example. Let's just say we adopt a child,
Mm-hmm.
and our family is not accepting that situation. They're not accepting the child. They're not accepting the child as our own.
Okay.
Just they're not with it at all.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say, like how do we navigate the situation? How do we move forward in order for us to have like a healthy relationship with our family
So we adopt a child, but they're not accepting that it's our child.
or the child at all?
Well, reality, it's not ours, but
Yeah, it's
what I
not
thought,
ours, but they're not approving of it.
oh,
You
like,
know,
don't do it.
yeah, they're not approving the child. They're not accepting the fact that we are its parents now, because yeah, the child, we didn't give birth
Uh
to the
huh.
child,
Uh huh.
but the fact of the matter is that we are the child's parents now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't need to birth a child to be their parent,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah. 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 No, absolutely, and I believe the people that raise the child is actual parents.
Hmm.
Because that's where the lot of work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It
So
comes after.
how would we move forward in this situation where we
So,
adopted the child, but the family's not recognizing the child as part of the family?
well, I mean, I think if I was in this situation, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna talk to them. You know what I'm saying? About, yo, like, this is my child. I want to, do good. I want to have more kids. Whatever might be my reason why I'm having that child, I'm gonna
Mhm.
explain it to them. Then if still they are telling me no, blah blah blah, you can do that, you need to have it, I'll be like, look, this is my life. You accept it, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine also. I'm gonna respect you. I'm gonna move on with my life. I'm not gonna, like, trying to force people, you know to accept something that they're not going to be involved in. You know what I'm saying? So the end of the day, it's gonna be on you and the partner, who's gonna be raising that child with you. And
Mhm.
it's amazing thing. So I can even fathom that some parents will not accept. I think sometimes if you didn't accept, only probably if you're already a bad parent, like a shitty one, then you would just want to add more problem to your life. But if you're a good parent and you want to, I think, yeah, just move on with your
Yeah,
life
well,
and don't.
family in general.
I'm sorry.
Family in general.
Yeah, I
Like
think.
brother, sister, mom, dad,
Yeah,
cousin,
it,
whatever.
yeah, to be honest, I don't care. I'm just gonna do me, and I'm gonna show them that I'm great parent. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mhm.
live by example. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show them that, um this child that I have, that I adapt or whatever, he deserve better life, and I'm gonna raise him the best child as possible, and I'm gonna provide him, good life as possible, and yeah, just show them, live by example, and as long you do a good job, after a year, two max, they're gonna turn around and be like, they're gonna accept him too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's everything. It's hard in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You see certain things. People think ahead way too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They complicated things like that. Yeah, just take it a little bit easy. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just focus on the moment. Focus what's gonna happen today and tomorrow. Stop thinking about what's gonna happen 20 years from now.
Okay.
A lot of people start thinking like that, and don't lie. You know what I'm saying? So if you adopt a child, don't lie. So when he's able to the age to tell him the truth, just let him know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tell him, you are, we adopt you, we love you so much. That's why we we got you, and we are your parents, and explain to him why, the reason you did it and stuff like that. And absolutely, I think a lot of those kids, they appreciate the people do certain things like that, as long you don't abuse them.
Mhm.
If you don't abuse them, I think they are super appreciated of the life you give them, more than sometimes the actual parent the kids you have from your
Yeah.
own bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Because from your own bloodline sometimes can be entitled. you know
Yeah.
right? And yeah, those people, they're like, man, like, I didn't have nobody. Now I have a family, I have brothers, I have sisters, and I never see anything bad from them. They always treat me the same as my older brothers and sisters. It's
Yeah.
amazing. So yeah, if you are in that position, you're able to do it, go ahead and do it. There's a lot of children, they need to, you know they need the new parents in their lives.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, I think Hopefully, I did a
So in
good
a
job.
sense, you would just ignore your family and just move
Yeah,
on with your life.
yeah, exactly. And just ignore my family, and because people's opinion is people's opinion, they're not gonna change. Just respect what they say. It's like, okay, that's your opinion. I'm sorry, and just move on with your thing. And like I said, just show them. Instead of telling them, just show them exactly how you're gonna do it and how it's done, and
Yeah.
then they're gonna respect you a whole lot after a couple of years for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, that's all I have for today.
This is all what we have for today. Hopefully, you guys got to enjoy this episode. What it's like being a parent. We shared with you guys our experience a little bit. Hopefully, you guys got a little bit motivated. Maybe you guys can have some kids. We are in need, to increase population in this earth. For
Yeah.
sure. But with the good, positive people and kids, not with the negative and
Yeah.
bad and criminals, because we have plenty of those, And hopefully, you guys got to enjoy the podcast, and make sure like and subscribe, and join the family. I know a lot of you guys are still watching now. Subscribe. Please go ahead and do so. All right. Anything else before we close this episode?
Nope.
Nope. She always nope. All right. Well, this is bye from me and Candy and Boots. All right, guys. I'll catch you in another one. Bye bye. Boots, woke up, buddy. Busy, busy. Busy, busy.
Let's show them.
Show them.
Part alien.
Yeah. Show them.
Anybody's like, what do the aliens look like?
Yeah, right there. Yeah, that's an alien face right there. I don't believe in an alien, but I started believing him after I saw that. Yeah, that's just an alien face right there. All right, guys. Peace out.